Hi Scorpio, welcome to your reading for December 2019. I hope you guys are enjoying the holiday season. And before we check out your cards, I want to let you guys know a little bit about how I read tarot cards. So if you watch a lot of tarot on YouTube, you might be familiar with a certain format. Predictions of the future, right? But what I like to do is do that, but also incorporate an element of advice, because okay, Eight of Cups came out. So for some of you, there could be a feeling of walking away from something in your life, but overall, you feel pretty relieved about this, and it feels like a new beginning for you, Scorpio. So we'll keep that in mind. But as I was saying, I believe that we co-create our reality with the universe. And so rather than simply tell you, here's what's going to happen, what I prefer to do is take a look at your situation, then give you advice based on that situation for how to manifest the outcome that you want. And then from there, we can look at that outcome. And so you're seeing a glimpse of the future, but you feel much more empowered that you can actually have that future rather than it simply being sort of something that you're waiting on that might not happen. All right, I'm going to grab my water really quick. Okay, Scorpio. So we're going to start by looking at your path and your obstacle. And your path is the main energy that you are going to be embodying, experiencing, manifesting this month. And then your obstacle is the main energy that could be getting in the way of that. And I don't want you to think of the obstacle as something outside of you that's preventing you from having what you want. I want you to think of it more as something within you that you're being asked to resolve or work on so that you can stay on this path, so that you can manifest what you want. Excuse me, I think I'm about to sneeze. Okay, never mind. Wow, extremely clear, Scorpio. So this is a love reading, clearly a love reading, the most obvious love reading I've had so far this month. Love it. Okay. Four of Wands. This is your path. Celebration, commitments, perhaps marriage. Entering into some kind of establishment or union. Two of Cups. Love and connection. So with Four of Wands as your path, I'm really feeling like a lot of you are either getting into a relationship this month or taking a relationship to the next level. You could be getting engaged or you could be getting married. Normally, I don't give this specific of advice or give this specific of a reading, but it's just so clear here. There's some kind of way that this relationship is being made very official. Now, obviously, for some of you, there could be the off chance that this is, a business partnership and you're entering into, a more official form of that. And so if that is what's going on for you right now and you resonate with that, Scorpio, definitely keep that train of thought with the rest of this reading, because these kind of general interpretations can go for various situations. But I'm going to stick with the love reading for most of you because I do feel like that's what this is. So with this commitment as your path and the Two of Cups as your obstacle, I feel like what you're being told this month, Scorpio, is that if you want this kind of established home base, this celebration and this commitment, ironically, you have to remember that it's all about this. This is what matters. This connection is what matters. Your connection with yourself, and therefore what you can bring to this relationship, Scorpio, is what matters. And so if you get too caught up in what's going on, are we going to get married? Are we going to get engaged? Where's our relationship going? And get too caught up in trying to make that happen, ironically, you're not really going to be ready for it because you're pushing, right? And you're not getting to the place within the relationship that you need to be to have this happen in a positive way. Awesome, Scorpio. All right. So now we're looking at your recent past. Turn on the light for you. Okay. I hope that's better. So in your recent past, we have the Empress. This is a beautiful energy, especially in tandem with the Emperor. You've been feeling really powerful recently, Scorpio, so I'm not surprised that you're taking this relationship to the next level or manifesting this connection. Having the Empress first, and this really makes me feel like I'm talking to a lot of women listening. I feel like you have been really getting in touch with your senses. You've really been listening to your heart and your body more. Kind of maybe making a decision not to betray yourself sexually or do things that don't resonate with you sexually. I know that's a very specific message, but that's kind of what I'm getting. I feel like you're really grounding in yourself and kind of honoring your intuition and your body in this very grounded Empress way. Because the Empress is all about the earth and the senses and sensuality and being connected to that, right? And so then with that, you kind of have this sense of power, this sense of empowerment that comes over you from connecting with yourself in that way. You're starting to really feel like the Emperor. You're feeling like you are ready to make big, bold choices in your life because you've got your relationship with yourself kind of on lock. So if it's an existing relationship, that could be the case. Or it could be, because you're in touch with yourself so much more, you're attracting people into your life that are more on your wavelength, Scorpio. So that's what I'm seeing for you in your recent past. Ooh. Okay. So next we are looking at your influences, the underlying energies that are influencing your behavior, the things that are on your mind, the way that you are operating, Scorpio. And you have the Death card. And a lot of people react to this negatively, but I don't see it as negative at all. Because we have to die in a way to become our new selves, to become a truer, more authentic version of ourselves, to become who we really want to be in this life, and to experience the things we want to experience. And so that, in conjunction with the Four of Swords, which is this card of rest and recuperation after a battle, this makes me think that all of this whole relationship thing is a little bit deeper for you than you may be letting on, Scorpio. I feel like I feel like, on the one hand, you kind of have stepped into this more connected, intuitive self-honoring version of yourself in the recent past, and that's kind of what's brought all this goodness to your doorstep. But on the down low, you're aware that you have a lot of wounds still. You have a lot of negative patterns, maybe in the way you think about yourself, maybe trauma from past relationships, whatever it might be, that are going to need to die or that are dying in order for you to have this. And there's a part of you that is really feeling guarded. And that's kind of underneath the surface. But you know there's more going on here than just the happy celebration marriage, although that is happening for you, Scorpio. So we're going to look at some advice on how to best leverage this energy. Aw, Page of Cups. Oh, the Chariot. Oh my gosh, that's beautiful. This is beautiful, Scorpio. Okay. So this could not be more clear. For your advice, you have the Chariot and the Page of Cups. And I love how there's almost this kind of mirroring effect between these two cards of this wave that's crashing upward and this horse that's kind of galloping upward. They both look like they're being carried into the future. That is exactly what the Chariot means. The Chariot is one of my favorite cards because it just has this feeling of destiny to it. It has this feeling of you've looked within yourself, you've put in the work, whether that's internal or external work, to get to where you need to be ready for whatever it is that you want to create. And now things are in motion. And it's kind of just at the point of closing your eyes and letting yourself be carried into the future. It's at that point where the ball is rolling and divine timing is happening for you, Scorpio. And so the advice here is to let that happen and enjoy this emotional new beginning. Page of Cups is all about feeling like a beginner. Cups is associated with water, so emotion. So it's this sense of happily receiving an emotional gift, an emotional new beginning, and feeling really fulfilled and like you're kind of cresting on a new phase of your life. But also feeling really kind of naive about where you're headed and feeling like this could knock you over. But you see, Scorpio, how even standing beneath this wave, she's smiling. And she somehow seems really unbothered and unafraid. And this could be her naivete, but I think it's more than that. I think there's a certain wisdom to this kind of innocence. And that is your advice for this month, Scorpio. And so this is really beautiful because, I mean, for a lot of people who have some big life transition going on like this, especially with you and what you have underlying these kind of, fears or insecurities or negative patterns and this feeling, this vulnerability underneath, a lot of times the advice that comes out is be measured, be balanced, take it slow. But that's not the advice for you this month, Scorpio. And obviously honor your own inner guidance before anything, right? I would never want to convince you out of that. But if this is sort of what your heart is already telling you, consider this reading your permission slip, Scorpio, to really just let go and ride the wave of this next chapter of your life. Because you're very safe in this relationship. This is a very true and loving and real connection. This is not a connection where you have to be afraid of letting go, per se. And it's a good thing because, many of you are entering into a commitment with this person. And so for a lot of you, that could be this feeling of being carried. It's like, okay, I'm stepping into my future. I'm getting married. I'm entering into this relationship. This is scary. But on some deeper level, despite the fear, you know that you're ready. Okay, Scorpio. So I'm going to move some of these cards out of the way. And we're going to look at your future. That taking this advice is manifesting for you. And I want to pull one more card just to get some more clarity on this, because you do have the Five of Wands, which can indicate some conflict. And it doesn't have to be conflict with this person. It could be any kind of inner conflict. Okay. Yeah. All right. So Scorpio, I don't want you to get too worried. Here's what I'm feeling here in connection with your other cards. You've got the commitment. You've got the relationship. You've got the established connection. So there's no need to worry about the status of that. Okay? And you are taking that advice to jump in, just like the Fool. And the Fool is the 0 card. It's the first card in the deck. And so there's really this beautiful, beautiful symbolism here of you're having a new beginning here, Scorpio. You're fully stepping into your future. And it feels great. The Fool has this beautiful energy to him. But those old wounds that we talked about earlier, they may start to become apparent for you in this relationship. And that's not a bad thing at all, because we've established that this is a very safe relationship in which you can be yourself and in which you can feel safe. And so these wounds that are coming up may actually have nothing to do with this relationship at all. This could be, we have this kind of heartbreak energy and this inner conflict energy. This could be things from your past that you've simply been unable to face until now. And ironically, with a partner beside you to encourage you to be vulnerable, Scorpio, because I know you can be secretive, Scorpio, and I know letting someone in is sometimes something you Scorpios don't find easy to do. But this stuff is going to come up with your partner. And I think you're going to find it very relieving that it does. I think you are really going to feel purged of a lot of things that have been holding you back in the past, but that you have shoved down in favor of staying strong and powering through and having what you want. And you do have what you want. But you're also going to get something else, which is healing and vulnerability and opening up some of that mysterious Scorpio nature with another person. So this is a beautiful reading, Scorpio. This could manifest in a little bit of conflict within the relationship, but I don't feel like, that's any big thing to be afraid of. I think that's simply whatever these old fears are. You might be interpreting things based on that, even though that's not going on in this relationship. So it's kind of a healing process, right? So this is a gorgeous reading. I'm really, really excited for you guys. If you would like a personal reading with me, I will leave the link to book one of those down below. I offer different types of readings. You don't have to, be in person with me. I know that's kind of scary for a lot of people. Recorded readings, PDF reading, whatever you're into, and they're quite affordable. So I hope to hear from you guys. I would really love to do some readings for you, and I will see you next month. Bye, Scorpio.